Hello guys and girls, how's it going? Screezilla here, and I hope you're all well. And wow, just wow. This match is possibly some of the worst gameplay I've ever seen and some of the best gameplay I've ever seen. It is just unbelievable. It's one of those matches where you basically just slap your forehead and wonder exactly what was going on in the brains of the other players. Now we've got the introduction, let's get started. So I'm actually watching this from the server side replay, so I'm going to be jumping on board to myself straight away, Mr. Screezilla of course, in the JU288, and we're going to take her down. And basically the reason I was playing this is I just needed to get a couple of ground kills to finish off a Warbond mission. I didn't really care. This game was just a throwaway game for me. It was literally just a throwaway game with nothing else on the line. So we come in for the dive, and I am just basically going to go for a pillbox. I need to get 2 ground targets destroyed for my Warbond mission, and if I do that, then I'll go for the base and just get an extra bonus for it if I can, and everything will be dandy. So we're going to go and find a nice light pillbox somewhere and just drop a bomb on it, and that should get us a kill, and the surrounding area should get us a couple of ground kills at least. Now, this isn't the slap your forehead, wonder what people are thinking, did we somehow de-evolve gameplay footage yet. This is the I'm just rushing in like an idiot gameplay. And I was pondering dropping another one on another pillbox and then just pretty much J'ing out or returning to base to rearm and pretty much give up. But I decided to keep going. Now, already we've seen where a plane crashed and damaged its engine. Yep, it's going to be one of those matches. Oh yes, it is going to be one of those matches. Now, just down to your right there, you're going to see Quay Deplin in SU6. And we're going to come back to him in a few moments because, well, he's rather important in this replay. He plays a pivotal role, one would say. Now, my match isn't that long. I'm pretty close to fighters, and, well, as you know, in a bomber, fighters plus bomber usually equals death. And we've got a Yak 3 coming in. We're just going to do a manoeuvre, evade the guns, easy enough, and he sensibly keeps flying on. No point in wasting all your ammo on a bomber early on in the game. Now, there's somebody else coming in, a Yak 9. We're going to turn in on him, roll around, evade his shots quite easily, and then turn back towards the base. Now, he's of course shooting at us, so we're going to jump into our gunner view, and we're going to start shooting at him because he's sitting on our 6. And this Yak 9 doesn't understand the fact that a bomber is very capable of killing a plane when it sits directly on its tail. We've suffered a little bit of engine damage, but nothing too major here, just a little bit of engine damage. He's on fire, and he's dead. But he can still cause damage. There's an LA7 coming in as well. Well, we better get this bomb off from us. You know, there's no point carrying around a bomb when we don't need it. So, the LA7's going to come in. Well, we might as well dive around and see if we can get another kill. So, I'm going to dive in underneath him and see if he comes in for the bait and comes and sits on my 6, basically. Keep our eyes on him, watching. The dive's coming, here he comes, and we're sitting in a nice position here. We're going to be able to fire our guns off, just wait a few moments, and he actually backs off, sensibly. Now, fighter pilots out there, heed my advice. Early on in a game, don't swarm bombers, because bombers can kill you. And they're not a huge strategic threat, but they can kill you. So you're best off just leaving them alone, letting them be, and then picking them off a little bit later in the game when you've taken down the enemy fighters. Now if we just pull up the second tab here, we can see we're doing pretty well. We've got quite a few planes in the air still. And the LA-7 comes in, sits on our 6, we shoot it, set it on fire, kill it, he rams me, and doesn't get the credit for the kill, but I do. So 2 kills to me, none to the enemy team. Well done, enemy team. Now, as I said, there is somebody we want to jump to, and that's this SU-6 here. Quid de Plan has already got a kill. Earlier in this game, he managed to get a kill, along with 12 ground targets destroyed. The SU-6 is a formidable plane. It's got some seriously big guns on it, and a serious rear turret as well. You don't want to mess with this thing. It's basically a IL-2 on steroids. Now he's coming in, just taking a few more ground targets out, and, well, it's his job. He's an attacker. He manages to avoid the rather deadly trees, which is always a good thing. And he's just going to spin it around a bit. He's still got some rockets on board. Things are looking good for him. Not looking too bad at all. He's got a nice lot of road targets coming in of him. A few tanks. He launches his rocket, misses, gets a kill, almost crashes, but does get the kill. Not the best firing, a little bit too close on convergence, so he's getting a few few misses, things like that, but he's got 16 ground kills already. He's doing well enough. But a few more are not going to hurt. Now this plane is rather formidable. It's got a great turning capability, as well as having some seriously big guns. On the back is a 12.7mm UBT machine gun. On the front are 37mm autocannons. Very slow velocity, but extremely deadly. This plane is built to last. It's not something you can easily kill. Now, the rest of the battle's going on, and as you've probably noticed, our numbers are dwindling a little bit. We've got players here who, let's say, are not doing the best job, and generally crashing or making poor decisions. Yep, that about sums up the gameplay of this match. The quality on offer here. Or should I say lack of quality. The enemy team are down to 4 planes. We have a few planes, but the tar is pretty much out of it. Engine is dead, and he's going to have to try and either glide to the airfield, or he could possibly take this little yak free on. He might be able to do it, but there's no engine. The yak free turns, and gliding is not going to be the easiest feat for this guy. However, you may have noticed that the Yak 3 did just crash. Yep. Great job. The F-82 comes in, the Twin Stang comes in and takes a pretty easy kill. Quintuple here is still busy harvesting tanks and making a relatively good amount of points as well. He is pretty much racking up as many points as he possibly can. Now let's see how this battle's going on. We've got an F-109 fighting a Twin Stang here. Now, the Twin Stang is not the most manoeuvrable plane, and the 190 should easily have this. Being on this 6, this should be an easy kill. If only he could lead his guns right. There we go. Finally gets the kill. 4 planes to 2. An IL-10 and an SU-6 remain. Meanwhile, we have a Focke-Wulf 190, an A7M2, an A6 M5 Co, one of the better planes in game, and a Focke-Wulf 190 A8, who's more interested in harvesting a few ground targets than actually going for any enemies. Meanwhile, the SU-6 here is starting to get a few sort of little bit of attention to him. The IL-10 is still returning to base, going in for a landing and a refueling and a rearming. The team is starting to chase down the SU-6. They're a little bit far away because, of course, the SU-6 is going in for its airfield. But we have 4 fighters against 2 attackers. If this IL-2 manages to land, IL-10 manages to land, that will be 2 attackers still. Of course, that means he has to land. And that means he has to have some form of competence. Which, as we can see here, he doesn't. So, 1 plane versus 4. 1 SU-6 that is running a bit low on ammo. It's slightly damaged. And, well, it's not doing all that well, in all honesty. He's made some good points. He's got a kill. But there are 3 fighters coming at him. A 190. An A7M2, an A6 M5 Co, and a second 190. This guy is in some serious trouble. All of these fighters have to do is get on his tail and not head on a plane with 30mm cannons. Oh no, this is going to be one of those days, isn't it? The 190 comes in and does a turn. The SU simply just dives up, goes up, loop-de-loop, comes back down, and the great thing about the SU is it's very capable of manoeuvrability. Yes, you did see that right. The 190 just lost a turn fight to the SU. This A6 M5, however, that thing is so manoeuvrable. It can't lose this fight, surely. Well, the guy decides to do some fancy manoeuvres and twirl in front of the SU. That's his 3rd kill. Now, we just want to look at the stats here. So far, myself and a bomber has 2 kills. Our team have 3 kills combined. Their team have 3 kills out of the planes that are dead, and 3 kills for the 1 plane remaining. Yeah, you're seeing that right. Almost all the other planes have crashed. Now this A7M2 has decided to go up, and possibly could be a threat right here. These SU-6 is diving away because he knows he's in real trouble now. But for some reason, this A7M2 jinks out of position and lets the SU-6 get a speed advantage on him. Now, he was getting shot by the rear gunner, and that is one thing that could be quite dangerous on this plane. The rear gunner. The A7M2, sitting basically stationary behind him, has given him a rather good spot for shooting. He's also got a damaged engine now. He can't catch up to the SU-6. So he just keeps firing, losing speed and just trying in vain to actually hit him. The SU-6, however, has got some damage to its tail fin. The flaps are gone, and he's going to turn into the A7M2 now. The A7M2 comes in for a head-on, and this is going to go as well as expected. However, he does manage to take out the engine. The A7M2's engine is dead as well. Will Quindelpin make it back to base? Will the A7M2 manage to pull around? No, he's going to crash into the trees, isn't he? Yep. That's 4 kills. 4 kills for this guy now. However, the A7M2 did manage to cause damage to this guy. It's at this moment that this gentleman decides, oh, well, good game, I'm just going to jump out of the game. I mentioned to him that, well, the SU-6 is actually very damaged. Maybe just stay in a little bit longer. You've basically been ground pounding all game. You've not done anything really to help us much. Just stay in the game a little bit longer and we will win this. Luckily, he listened to me. The SU-6 valiantly goes down. 4 kills, 28 ground kills. He managed to kill more people than his team stacked together. Well, same amount. Myself had the highest amount of kills on my team in a JU-288. Yes, incompetency, my friends. Incompetency. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time. Bye-bye.